What it do? Representing for the Dodgers. No, but for real. I do like the Dodgers. But this video is a video in response to, I saw this lady's video. I don't know what platform it was on. I'm gonna have to try to look back at my YouTube history. But she was saying that Black women are the only women who say they don't need a man. And I'm not a historian at all. But I do got questions. I got some questions. Because that actually doesn't seem to align with some of my understandings. And this particular person may have a lot more, but even if it doesn't align with my understanding, it also doesn't align with logic. But I get the sentiment and the empowerment that it makes it sound like, right? So, but yeah, she was saying we're the only ones that do that, and it's not a good thing. I agree that it's not a good thing for anybody to say we don't need anybody. I also would say that I absolutely have said that I don't need a man. And though it had nothing actually to do with any type of rights or anything. It was more of a spiritual thing. And for me, at the time, my understanding of need was processing a little different. So, just to say, it was like, oh, there's a God who loves me, takes care of me, protects me, all these things. I need God like the air that I breathe. More so, because God gives me breath in my lungs. There's no one else who does that. So I can also say I don't need women, right? In that way. Which essentially I was also saying that too. To me, I was saying I don't need anybody but the Lord. That's how I felt, that's how I believed, and that's what I was really trying to communicate. Because need, and we're learning about needs and wants with the kids, or teaching them about needs and wants, is something that you cannot live without. And they talk about it being, like oxygen, water, food, shelter. Okay. And so once again, I'm like, God provides all those things. So in that spiritual space, I was saying that. And I honestly thought anybody who was spiritual felt the same way. Like, I would be very much so, like, confused. I mean, if someone would say, that's not true, we don't just need God. And I'm like, that is true, right? So anyway, I could say for me, that was a space that I have been in. But as I listened to the conversations, and so then it also would lead into relationship, romantic wise, right? Everybody is not, this is my belief, but it's also practical. Everybody is not going to desire a romantic relationship or be in one. And that's okay. It's more than okay, actually. And the Bible even encourages those who do remain single, whether by choice or whatever the reason, to do so. And this is how you conduct yourself with God, right? So once again, that's that space. I'm sure 98% of the people who speak on these things may not be coming, not I'm sure. I have no doubt that it could possibly be that 98% people plus or less is not really talking about that when they say that they don't need a man, those who do. But I do know in terms of the romantic aspect, I don't even know if it's an absolute thing that women have said that, right? I don't know if it's been a thing that I know women who have said it because they're focusing on their career. And there are some that are on a healing journey, but honestly, the ones who are just saying, oh, well, like, I really want to focus on my career or my children, so I just don't need a man right now in my life because my children are really little and I don't want to bring up, there's people who say it because of those different reasons and literally don't deal with men romantically. Now, my confusion does come in with the women who say that they don't need a man, but romantically, but yet they are still romantically in relationships with men. There was a time that I was confused about that. Then I realized the other side of that is the women are not saying that they don't want a man or that men aren't appreciated. So this is just what I want to say for that part. This is not, well, for some women, it wasn't a men suck, men are awful, men are totally unnecessary to society. That it has been taken to that level and that degree. That's very unhealthy. But the fact of the matter is, once again, to say that I don't need a romantic relationship to exist in life, to breathe, to have joy and be happy, I think anybody in a healthy space can say, oh, I could see that being true for some people. Now, you may not say, oh, that's my story. You may believe that you do need that, like you need oxygen. And just to say, I'm a literal person, which annoys people. And I get it, but I am. And our verbiage, our wording, and definitions, and I get there is a connotation and a denotation. I get it. But that's really kind of all we have. And so when we talk about things, and words can be fluid, right? Like throughout societies and cultures, some words are archaic, some come back. I get all that. But this is part one of this. I just want to speak to the aspect, because so you see, I've just named all these different realms, right, of saying the same phrase. But I often hear it in this one realm of like, women are saying they don't need men to exist at all in the world. And that if those women had any type of logic, which most people do, or even instinct, intuition, anything, we know that that's not true. So I would like to believe that they really are not saying it in that way. They're saying it maybe more so in the space where I am right now. I don't need that. They may be saying it in a way of romanticism only. I don't need that. Like right now in my life, I don't need romantic interaction. I think that is good and healthy for all parties, male and female, at times, right? Because it could be a distraction. And so there's that aspect. Romantically, the nonsensicalness of just saying in general in life, that's not true. But also spiritually, those who believe in a higher power, and for me personally, the Most High, believing and knowing that without God, it don't matter who else is here anyway, because nobody can exist apart from God. So there's that aspect of it. And then I want to go into the historicity of it in my part 2. So I still got questions.